Boom.
Oh boy. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. The badger is not the only lord that we're about to talk about. We are probably going to have to mute the comments on this video. We're not doing that. Nobody do it how he does it. You know we don't do that. The Clout Chaser's back. This video is purely designed to antagonize the loud, I don't know if it's even a minority anymore, but the loud members of the fan base that are just absolutely obsessed with Bamford. People are really starting to panic that nobody's coming in. Sunderland are the best team in the world. Burnley have signed Kyle Walker, so they're the best team in the world. And that we are doing no business, and the 49ers are unwilling to spend the money and stuff. So ultimately, I have planned for the start of the season to have Byram left back, Harrison left wing, and Patrick Bamford in number 9. First game of the season, we can watch the fan base go into utter meltdown. Twitter will be a wild space. For absolute clarity, I don't think that's going to be happening, but in this quick shit vid, we will be fantasizing about that being the case. I am going to make a defense of Bamford, purely on the basis that I don't actually believe all the hatred that he gets. I don't really understand the level of hatred that he gets. I appreciate the injuries that he's had and stuff, and people get extremely frustrated with him. Bamford will be turning 32 just after the season starts, so he's without doubt staying this season. He looks an absolute beast online. He looks like he's been working really hard. All his Instagram posts have been about pre-season training. He's had strength and conditioning. He's been working with this new guy all pre-season. I know they all do that, but I think he's making a bit of a statement. There's 1 year left on his contract. He clearly wants to give the Premier League another go. He seemed in a really good mood, a really good place at the end of last season, which is kind of, I don't want to say unlike him, but when he's had injuries previously, he's been a little bit, it seems like he can be a little bit moody when it's not quite, when he's not in the side and stuff, which, you know, is, people would say is bad, but it's a good thing as a striker, you know. They want to be playing. He's clearly been working hard to get fit. Now, because we haven't been that reliant on him the past season, like Farker has really sort of let him rest, has it give his body some time to recoup? I still think he'd be fragile, but I honestly think if we're not reliant on him next season, I think he'll be an asset for us. He was excellent in the first year of the Premier League for us when he was banging goals in left, right and centre. I'm aware that feels like a lifetime ago now, but ultimately he's got a year left. You're just going to have to knuckle down, accept that he's at the club. Do you think he deserves any respect whatsoever for the time he had at Leeds United? And I'm being deadly serious. Try and be chilled out about it. Just for the abuse that he puts up with and the online battering that he gets absolutely constantly by, as I say, a very loud part of the fan base. It must feel like the whole world's against him most of the time, and he just rides it out. You'll never see him sort of really bitching and whinging online or kicking off or doing, he does his podcasts and stuff, but, everybody remains pretty stum about Joseph, how he wanted training and he was getting his hair done and all this, saying, he's been at under 21s when Nonto had been in under 21s and he was still back for training. So, I know you'll argue that he's stealing a wage and I could keep a smile on my face for 100 million a week. I've heard it all. I've heard all these nonsense arguments about him stealing a wage and how he's robbing the club. He's not robbing the club. Ultimately, you could argue whatever you want, whoever gave him the contract, Victor or whatever. You can go back to them days if you want to really be super bitter about Bamford and the fact that he's staying. He's here, boys, and it really is time to chill out and absorb the fact that we might be in situations where we're all actually calling for him. It was excellent when fit last year. He didn't provide any goals. I thought he'd have bigger moments, but when he's needed to be brought in, he can do a job. And a fit and well Bamford, that's game as a badger, is a good experienced centre forward at the club. We need to make additions. But let's have it right. This is as good as it's going to get for Bamford. It's probably his last year in the Premier League, unless he absolutely rips it up like I'm now anticipating he will. And he smashes it wide open and he starts getting in England squad calls up again. He gets his 17 goals in a season. It's on that Kevin Phillips hype. I think he'll go to America next year. He said that in an interview at the start of the season that he was open to an American move. and that his missus were sort of like he made it clear that it would like to have experience it out there, which I think is on the cards for him because he is a decent striker. Obviously, he's just struggled with fitness. I also don't think it's this idea that he's just riding his contract out. I think he wants to have another go in the Premier League, hence the level of fitness that he's trying to get to. Even Byron was saying the other day, like in his interview, that he's really surprised at the shape he's in and stuff. He looks like a beast, and he's at home and misses he's taking photos of him saying can't be spotting him in this heat, helping him do his workout and stuff. Farke thinks a lot of him. That's a fact, and I know nobody likes Farke, or certainly the loud part of the fan base don't like Farke, but Farke does think a lot of him, and every manager that we have had has agreed he is useful. Peru, Peral, Parisley, Bamford and Nemecha, hopefully another in addition, and that really ain't a bad start for me. I know I'm a lone wolf here, but he's here, and I've always liked him. So for his last year, I'm letting you all know that I've got his back one last time. Let's go. Get behind Bamford. We do need some more additions. I'm aware of this. Apparently going in for Longstaff again on the fourth for a fourth bid. I think everybody's in meltdown. I honestly do believe the 49ers will pull some things out the bag. We just have to be patient. They certainly are being patient. Farke needs to get to work now. He's got him in for pre-season. He knows what he's got right now. I don't think it'll be Bamford up top. I'm being jovial. I think he'll currently start with Peru, Peral, Parisley. Nemecha's a big, strong lad. He'll be looking to get his career back on track. Ultimately, it's the position we're in. And we might have to, unfortunately for some, be a little bit more reliant on players that have been at the club and are at the club. If Harrison comes back, I'll be doing a video on Harrison to wind you all up in next few coming days, how he may very well be the answer to some questions that Farke. Ultimately, the 49ers really don't care about whether or not it upsets the fan base and whether or not Jack Harrison upsets the fan base with him coming back, or whether or not Bamford's alleged to be stealing a career. The 49ers are businessmen and they do not care what the fan base think. They will do the best what they believe is for the club. That's money, that's squad, that's everything. If they talk to Farke and say, look, Farke, these are the options we've got, can get you another Nemecha and then move Bamford on, he'd probably say, just leave Bamford. I can utilise him. I don't want to be reliant on him. I'm going to go with Peru as it stands. But then if somebody comes up, they will take him. We look after players all the time, the youth players. We've spoke about Geldart. I was a massive fan of Geldart. We spoke about Greenwood. Greenwood never got looked after to the level that sort of Geldart does. But Joseph gets heaped on with praise. Joseph can do no wrong, as I say, even though doesn't seem like a consummate professional to me. Seems to be on a lot of podcasts talking a lot of shit and people saying, oh, you're twisting his words or whatever. Well, as a youngster, really, you've got to do what Bamford did, keep your mouth shut and get on with it and see where you end up. So for one last time, boys, I'm on this rodeo. I'm letting you all know right now, I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. If I lose 1,000 over supporting Bamford, I'm there for it. My support from Bamford genuinely comes from a place of love. It's not a place of nostalgia or a place of what does everybody say? Sentiment. It's genuinely not sentiment. It's just like he's a decent striker and he's currently plays for Leeds United. He will be here for another year. I would like a replacement for Bamford, but when he gets here, you're going to have to let me know, because ultimately, if he could finish similar to Peru, if we could mould Peru, Nemecha and Bamford all in one, I said it last year, if we could mould Peru, Joseph and Bamford all into one, we'd have one hell of a centre-forward. Now, the reason why we don't have that centre-forward is because that centre-forward would be Erling Haaland, wouldn't he? So Bamford offers us something different. He's a big, strong lad, and he can grab a goal. And he's proved in the Premier League that he can grab goals. And he will be bang up for this season. Let's have it right. Again, somebody that will probably realise he's not going to start many games, but be happy for every single Premier League minute he gets, and he'll want to come on and do a job for the team. I don't know what more you want. Take it easy. I know I'll get pelters, but I'm here for it. If something comes up, it must come out. I'm Team Bamford for one more year, baby. Let's go!
Boom.